What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. It is the 24th day of November, and here we are at about $0.0032. We've got about 6 days and 8 hours left in this brand new week. We just closed out last week with a very nice finish, dropping all the way down and wicking all the way back up. Most cryptos last week closed actually to the downside. Let's just see others here. Look at the others chart. Yeah, last week most cryptos closed down 9%, whereas ZBCN closed up almost 5%. And here we are starting off this week up about 4.5% right now. So that's nice to see. I do believe that we found the low. I do believe this was somewhat of a fake out of this overall range here. That was a bit of a fake out, and we likely do push higher to not just higher prices from here, but new relative highs and new all-time highs altogether inevitably. As far as when will new all-time highs come into view, it could be December, it could be January at this point. I don't know. Time will tell, but we should see new all-time highs soon enough. And depending on how December goes for the rest of the market, it really could be by the end of the year that we're at new all-time highs altogether. This crash in Zebec and in the rest of the market has pushed our 3-cent to 8-cent target back a little bit. It is possible that we don't see these areas until February. It could be in January. This thing moves. Whenever it moves fast. But also, because of how far we've dropped down, we are less considering 8 cents. We're less considering 6 cents. We're more considering 4.5 to 3 cents at the moment. Okay. To me, it still makes perfectly good sense that we go to at least 3 cents, if not higher. And typically, again, with the 2272, because we just identify it as a range, but with the 2272, you don't typically stop there. You do wick a little bit above there. So something above 3 cents is maybe more appropriate of a call to make. As high as 7.9 cents, 8 cents, whatever, but most likely somewhere in this range right now. And again, if anybody's wondering as to why the targets changed, it's because when we were calling for this same area up here, like over a month ago, versus we came all the way down here recently, you know, it's the same move, more or less. It's just now from a lower place, and in which case you might have lower expectations, right? And that's totally appropriate. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, I love it when I get those comments saying, "Hey, remember this call from back in July?" It's like, yeah, I do remember that call from back in July. That was a wrong call. We have moved on since then. It's been months that we've had a different plan. What about the call whenever we were down here and we were talking about exploding to new all-time highs? What about that call? Nobody wants to talk about the good calls. At least none of the trolls do. They just want to talk about the bad calls. And it's funny. I'm going on a whole different rant. This is all about me right now, but it's like they expect me to admit that I'm wrong every single time I'm wrong, which I feel like I do. For the most part, I'm not afraid of being wrong. It's okay to be wrong. But the same people who demand that I say that I'm wrong, that I shut my channel down every single time that I make a bad call, they never address when I make a good call. They never do. Which is pretty funny, right? It goes to show who the real scammers are. But anyways, the 1 hour time frame. Shout out to John on that note. 1 hour time frame. Here we are at about $0.0032 right now, consolidating. We've got a bit of a horizontal phase. It looks like a bull flag to me, and we were suspicious. We were very suspicious of this yesterday because a lot of the time lately that we've seen these kind of formations, they have just broken out to the downside, and then you come back up later. But it looks like you want to push higher. I mean, it looks like you want to push higher right now. I want to look at this with some volume on it. Not a whole lot of volume here, but you don't necessarily need it yet. You need it if you move any higher, right? Like if you're breaking out, then you need it to come in. It is odd seeing such a lack of volume, but you really could from here see some kind of crash down. Volume comes in. Clearly, there's a lack of volume here, so when it comes in, it'll probably move the price easily up or down. Hard to say. 1 hour RSI, you did have a downtrend. You did have lower lows and lower highs, but you broke out of that before even seeing the oversold zone. That's bullish, guys. That's bullish. You bounced off the 40, you got overbought, you didn't get oversold. That's bullish. You're back above the 60. Good things. Makes me think you want to go higher. Stochastics are bullish, and the MACD bounced right off the zero. You guys, I think you're moving higher. Like right now. By the time you watch this video, hell, maybe by the time I'm done with this video, we'll be pumping already. I don't know. This looks good. This looks like a proper bull flag. And because of that, let's give it a proper measurement from a low to a high, and then put the base of this flagpole at the base of the flag. That's your measure move. That should take you all the way up to roughly $0.0451. That is from the current price, roughly a 42% pump. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, Zebecians. And we're looking at this on a 4 hour time frame. It might not be today, the 24th, but I mean, if the end of the month is over here, right? This is the end of the month right here, this little line. Not drawing it the straightest, but you can see what I'm going for. Yeah, I think you'll be up here before the end of the month. Yeah, absolutely. 40% pump. It's the 24th now. We've got 6 days, 8 hours left in this month. Within that time, you will pump. And let's do you one better. It's Monday right now. The end of the month is on a Sunday. Saturday is the 29th. You'll probably do it before the weekend. So between today, the 24th, and the 28th, you should see 0045 come back into play. I might buy some Zebec just on the short term, just for a short term play, because guys, this is absurdly, this looks really good. And then what do? You buy here, and then if it breaks down, you sell, right? You can have a stop loss right there, or you can just buy, and even if it drops down, you can just hold and be along for the ride, right? Buy the low. There's nothing wrong with that. What I certainly wouldn't recommend is if you buy here and you don't sell here and it breaks down, definitely don't sell down here, right? Definitely don't sell the higher low, the golden ratio retracement. Don't do that. I don't know, man. This looks good. This looks really good. 4-hour RSI also looks like it's in a bull flag, honestly. With this, you should break through the 100 level. That's probably not going to happen. You can't break. You literally can't break through the 100 level. Bouncing off the 60 is great. This RSI looks great, you guys. It looks really good. Which is nice because you looked so bad for so long. You're actually showing some tenacity here to the upside. Unfortunately, actually, if we're looking at this, this looks very similar to what we did back here, right? It's actually even similar price action. Just a little different. The volume's different. The 1 hour looks good. I don't know. The MACD and the stochastics even look the same if we're being completely fair. The volume's different, though. And where we're bouncing from is different. The reaction overall is different. I feel like we're in a different part here than where we were back here, if that makes sense. Like here, we're still in lower highs. I guess we have it here too, but we're breaking out of this trend. I would think it pushes higher. I would. But if we reject the overbought zone like this, maybe we do go lower. And at this point here, if we were consolidating last time, it would have been at this point that it's completely appropriate to abandon any kind of higher high price expectations, right? So if we got to here, then you can get bearish. Did you get bearish at the top? No, it's not perfect, but you would have been bearish at a point which you still caught most of this downside move. So again, same kind of thought here. If we get below 003, really 00299, I would say we're probably going lower, but it'd have to be getting below there on a 4-hour closing basis, not a wicking basis. The histogram's a little bit stronger here, a little bit healthier. We've consolidated. Once you cross above the 0, typically on the oscillators, you consolidate for about a day and a half to 3 days. And from here to where we are now, it's been 11 candles. So that's over a day and a half. I mean, at any point now, between now and really, let's just say, because 3 days is 18, this is typical. It could go longer, but sometime between now and Tuesday. We were saying the 28th, but hell, man, sometime between now and the 25th, you should be breaking out. That's tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, you should be breaking out. That doesn't mean that you're all the way up here at your measure move by the end of tomorrow, but we should be breaking out by the end of tomorrow, if I'm right in assuming this. If not, the longer that we consolidate here, maybe we do stand a chance to retrace, pull back. But the target at the moment is something around 0045, 0046, something around there. Not bad, guys. Not bad at all. Making me want, because that's a nice little short-term play, 40%. That ain't bad, man. That ain't bad. What I'd heavily advise, if any of my viewers are watching this that normally watch like any of my other videos, what I would heavily advise against, and this is not financial advice, not a financial advisor, this is just advice coming from my personal experience in the markets. Don't take a coin that's down right now. Don't sell that coin thinking, I'll just put that coin into Zebec and I'll catch 40%, and then I'll sell that 40% pump, and then I'll just put it all the way back into this coin that's down here. Because God knows, as soon as you sell this coin to put it into this coin, you'll get the 40% pump, but then this one does the 80% pump. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You want to do short-term plays? Do it with new money or something that's a little bit more appropriate to rotate into. I don't know. That's just a thought there. I don't know, just a thought. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I can hear people's gears grinding, thinking of what they could do with this 40% pump. Don't make the wrong decisions and sell your boring coins or your down coins. It might work out famously for you, but if it doesn't, that would just be a real pisser, right? Anyways, daily time frame here. Looking at the RSI, bouncing off the oversold zone, double bottom there. Looking good. You actually look like you have a W in your RSI, don't you? Kind of like that. It's not pretty. but it's looking good so far. Stochastics are bullish, makes me think that we're going to move up over the coming days. The stochastics on the daily is a really good testament as to why we should be bullish. If we crash by the end of today, maybe not, but dude, this is great. Let's wait for today to close. 8 hours left, but this is great. The MACD crossing green, bearish overall. I don't know, not a whole lot to go off of there, but two bullishly implied things versus one bearishly implied. I mean, they're all bearish overall. Let's be fair, especially since October they've been bearish, but I think we do get a solid bounce from here, from a high to a low, and we're not going to take the fake out low. I think it's established at that point that this is the fake out low. 0045 to 0046. That's the golden ratio right there, guys. It's a little bit above the measure move, but here's the deal about measure moves, you guys. The measure move is just an idea. You do not have to stop at the measure move. You can stop below. You can stop above. In this case, our measure move would take us just below the golden ratio. So maybe we go, instead of to 0045, 0046, maybe we go to 0046 to 005 itself. Maybe that's what this breakout takes us towards. And in which case, the pump that we're assuming is even more miraculous than 40%. It's something on the lines of like 50%, 45%, 57%, something in there. Or maybe we fall short. Maybe we hit the 0.5 and it's a 26% pump. Either way, higher. And then we can go from there, but depending on where you stop will definitely depend on where we pull back, where we find support, but I do think we move higher. So 0045, 005 itself, somewhere up there is what I'm thinking, personally. Find some turbulence, consolidate, and then boom, then we can rally. Maybe, wouldn't it be absolutely serendipitous if this bull flag here, we ran up, this was just the flagpole of a larger bull flag that we're about to form before we run up and break out to new all-time highs? Wouldn't that be serendipitous? That'd be kind of cool. Things like that happen, right? That's what fractals, that's what they call them, fractals. And then just look here, perfect example of a bull flag, low to a high here, right? You get your flagpole, you've got your flag right there, right? And then this measure move right here, did we go past it? Yes, we did. We wicked past it, found some turbulence, you pulled back, but then you continued to rally. So again, measure moves are just ideas. You can go past them, you can fall short of them. Don't cling to that 0045, 0046 level like it's your secret sauce, right? From a high to a low, my expectation would be that we go to the golden ratio. Looking at that, I mean that would make a lot of sense. 00463 or higher. Anyways, I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Very impressive recovery last week. Very impressive beginning of the week so far. I think you have more to go. And again, if we do close below 0029 on a 4-hour basis, that doesn't mean Zebec's broken and it's going to zero, but it likely does mean that you will give some of this back. You'll probably move back down to like 0026, maybe 0025, 0024, somewhere in that area, find support, and then move up. It'll just be a higher low. Everything, all the upside that we just talked about will still happen just after you form a higher low. I'm not anticipating this, but again, a little uncanny how similar the RSI here looks to here. How similar the stochastics here look to here. How similar the MACD looks. Even the oscillators are at the same levels. You know, it's pretty uncanny how similar it looks. It's not completely the same. And just because it looks the same doesn't mean that you're going to get the same results. But I do think that we're going to break out to the upside. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But I'm not trying to be wrong here. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.